time, does it?
12 players against a bash matchup. He's going to need to be a bit lucky and just get KOs rather than actual.
Well, I mean, I think he's going to have to come up with a game plan that sees him win within 2 halves. You think the longer it goes on, the more likely it is actually that probably the Chaos Dwarves are going to suffer from attrition than the Nurgle on total.
Yep, because Nurgle have got the foul appearance, and they've got the regen, and they've got more bench. So.
Yes, I mean rotters are trash, but rotters aren't what you're relying on.
And we have the game as well.
All right, game started. Cool. Let's get back into the game.
And it definitely looked like we have Nurgle on defense.
I mean, I don't think as Nurgle I particularly mind. I'm probably looking. Nurgle, I mean, if I can stop them, I do, and I've got all sorts of toys to try and do that. But if it, as I said, if it goes to 3 halves, I'd definitely be backing Nurgle. And indeed, I have in my prediction slightly. A lot's going to come down, of course, to when we see those claws fire.
But they have the thing Nurgle has also regen where the Dwarf is. If it goes bad, it goes bad. There's no second chances.
No, and no depth on the bench.
And he got a bribe is what he gets in the inducement.
Okay, yeah. So bribes could do, or a bribe could do some business here. Although if he does,
I remember your last bribe. It was.
Well, bribes are a little bit high variance. Let's put it that way. Yeah, true. But I think a bribe gives him more of a chance. Like these armor 9 Nurgle warriors, if he can just get some. The thing is, like, he's got to be able to foul without exposing that little hobgoblin.
Yeah.
At least until his bribe finishes. When his bribe finishes, he's not too worried about the. But he needs to get maximum foulage out of that little hobgoblin, Viagra, and so he needs to try and foul from fairly sneaky positions, without getting him necessarily hit. And then he also needs to foul like good stuff. He doesn't just want to foul rando rotters, does he? So.
Yeah, it's by the way the Dwarf won the coin toss and picked the offense.
How we go, Rob?
Yeah,
good evening.
I think that's right. I think you want to, even if it's 2 of those 3 rotters off pitch, you can start to dominate the half and bully the Nurgle a bit despite their strength advantage.
Mura says, what do you think about the deep setup?
It's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's so you need to go for it with a blocker if you want to hit any of those. That is the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, even if you want to hit and run with a bull, there's a good chance you're leaving something back there that's just going to get monstered in return. And whatever it is, you really can't afford that as the Chaos Dwarves at the moment.
Yeah, because if he just leaves 1 unit up there, then it's kind of like a free pylon with no
consequence. You can still dominate. You can still dominate the backfield there and prevent them advancing in a place you don't want to. So it's
just like, let me feed you with a rotter or feed you with a Dwarf or something that you can just pile onto. So
yeah, I mean, it would be a rookie Dwarf or it would be a hobgoblin.
Yeah,
can't afford to lose the piece this early in the drive. So it probably means that we're looking at 3 hits on the line of scrimmage here, and only on a push or something are we seeing the blitz used other than positionally. It does give up some field placing, but against a team that isn't going to try and pile forwards and score quick, that's not necessarily that relevant.
Yep. Yeah, would you do that with your? Would you have done that with your Dwarfs PC in this sort of matchup?
Yes. I mean, there are times where I have done. Mostly, it depends exactly how much claw you feel you're facing. But sometimes you've got to just try and get up in their face anyway, and try. And if you've got enough guard lock it, or just try and chip a piece or outmaneuver them to the point where they're being less effective. But yeah, sometimes if you're facing just way too much absolute anger at you, then you've got to be the elf team, no matter how your team is built. You've got to try and just dodge off, even if it fails, and get out of the way, and then try and find the times to chip at the corners or
you'll be happy that
look for a positional mistake. Yeah, absolutely. The 3 hobgoblins going down isn't relevant at this stage. They'll probably only stand up if they can freely dodge on a 3.
Yeah.
And stop them doing that again, you'd have to put something within blitz range of the nasty pieces. The nice solid wall is hard to chip at except in the corners.
Yeah.
And that's where you want the hits coming really at the moment if you're the Chaos Dwarves.
He's got a third reroll as well, so he's got the fame, picked up a reroll on the kickoffs.
Yeah.
Well, it solved the biggest
Gerald's giving
concern.
the early GG.
Are you just... If this is your defense, the dwarves are not close. Are you just dodging the rudders out or just leave them? You could in theory just end your turn.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically given the same problem back, hasn't it? It said, all right, do you want to throw something at me and attack because it won't be able to get back and I'll be able to claw bomb it?
And possibly foul it.
Yeah.
I don't think you... But if you're choosing this, you might as well just stay down here. And
Are you
wait.
dodging the rockers?
I'm not even sure because they cannot really get a little bit in limbo land. I might just leave them because you cannot cage it because they're
Well, the
just
problem,
linked.
yeah, I mean, the advantage of leaving them there is that if the Chaos Dwarves push up in front of them, it messes up where they want the cage to be to make it nice and solid.
So they need to go a bit to the
So
side.
they're sort of actually holding some position there on the ground.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is different. At least it will get more time for overtime. Because he kind of needs to go a bit to the side if you want to push.
Well, I mean, I'd love to be in Dionysian's shoes right now because, of course, he's got to be feeling a mixture of emotion. Half of him to just lump hell out of each other and knock a few out at the final. But the other half of him has got to be excited by this two bash teams, both effectively running a variant of the Dakar right now.
Yeah, I was just thinking you just pass turns again here. Can we just skip through the first half of this half?
I'll come forward in turn 5. We'll have 3 hits to see what happens. Yeah.
Dakar defense, Dakar offense. Skip to the important part of the turn, the half.
It's almost
It's the
like
appalling possible future of Blood Bowl, where the best Blood Bowl is not to play Blood Bowl.
It's almost like seeing 2 elf teams using the first 5 turns doing nothing, and then start playing Blood Bowl.
Yeah.
Here in Blood Bowl 2020, they've shortened Blood Bowl to 4 turns per half.
But now, the job for coming forward and giving up hits on the least good players.
Yeah.
I might run a tournament where people just turn up, explain their team builds to Joe Manji, he decides who's won, and then we'll just go and get drunk.
Isn't that how most London tournament works? I thought so.
I mean, effectively, yeah, I was going to say, effectively that does happen anyway. I'm not sure that would be a major change.
Gary on speaking in chat from his long experience of Dutch Christian Reformed churches.
24.
Yeah, I'm going to trust you on that reference. Probably, I think, is what I'd say there.
Right, so he's coming forward, locking up so he's not giving him the options of standing up the rutters, he's just locking in the rutters here.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he can still...
Well, as I said, I mean, yeah, it was the half problem set, which is if you're going to seize that space, I'm there already, so what are you going to do about that? And the answer is cause loads of threat. But that's okay, the Rotters are in the game while being out of the game. The Nurgle aren't going to mind this. They still haven't had to activate the beast, they've still got their... still quite few re-rolls in hand, so both teams on 3, it's going to be a factor second half for sure. I mean, 3 and 2, isn't it, without the one that was given?
By doing this, by keeping the front row of shit dwarfs connected to the second row, he's not going to palm, he's just going to blitz. Oh, wait. No.
I might palm. I think if you're going in
the
with
thing with
that...
that corner is there's no real threat back, so you can, suddenly you can attack one and put another at risk. Yeah, and you can put the other lone one at risk too.
Okay, so he's not just gonna blitz and run here. He's actually gonna mix it with putting his strength 4 guard in, getting the beast in.
Yeah, I like this. The dwarves are a little too thin at the front.
Okay.
I'm taking the just the warrior hit instead, keeping
I'd have put that to advance as well. Just put lots and lots of
I think he's
stink up in
still a bit
everyone's
afraid
face.
of getting one of the claws chipped.
If he puts the warrior in there, it's got one guard on it already, so he
Yeah,
can
true.
get. Well, it's not easy to get. The way that turned out, I don't think that
I
would
mean,
have been easy.
this way I can see both those warriors going down. I mean, I'd probably be attacking the 2 warriors here and making a switch to the other side.
If he'd have had a line of 3 warriors there, could he have easily got 2 dice on any of them?
Yes, you can still do it around
With
the
bull,
outside.
especially with strength 5.
And you can always do it with a bull.
Oh, with the bull, of course, yeah, but not with the palm. That's my point.
I mean,
No,
I'd still probably be going around the outside here rather than from the inside.
Around outside. Is he going
Because,
for...
yeah, now I also can't advance. And I need another assist from a different direction on the other one. Plus, if I'd gone round the outside, I've been able to see some space out there and move both bulls and all the hobgoblins over to that side and sort of isolate the beast a bit, even though it leaves the 2 rookie dwarves behind. Surely that was the point of putting them up front. So yeah, I didn't love coming up from that inside line, but I think the move is right.
No, it died in 2. He had the skill of 2 on it. It died 2 games ago.
Yeah, this is a rookie beast.
It had a game. It made one. It could have gotten a skill. It got a MVP. It made a casualty, but didn't get the MVP.
So Gestionador is an alt of somebody, isn't he? Cool.
Technically, Gestionador is not. It's before the one. He's also Hermisho or whatever it is, but that's actually his third account.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Hiramazu.
So those 2 are the same.
Who I think is a rebel.
Yeah, he's played with that in Rebel. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually using both those 2 accounts, which says a lot of commitment. I must give him. That's some kind of commitment, having multiple accounts you're actively using like that.
You get the second account out when Geryon wields the banhammer.
Yeah. I think this is a little negative. I think, yeah, absolutely, that space out there was there to be seized.
So now we're just taking the 2 warrior hits and then retreating a bit.
I suppose the advantage of staying back there is it keeps those rotters down, but really they're the least threatening pieces. In some ways, I want them up. Because the Nurgle aren't particularly long on players, and it's the rotters that you are able to sort of take off the field and leave off the field most effectively normally. So chipping a couple of those as the dwarves is just sort of nice to do as you progress. But yeah, the double stun's useful, and again reinforces why that space where you're doing the hitting is where I'd have been trying to move the ball to.
Now, as Nurgle here, do you try and scramble over to the right because I mean it's obvious that you might want to, the Dwarfs might want to push up the right as we look at it now next turn. So do you try and get some pieces over there, or do you just try and fight the center here because it's gonna? And do you even?
Yeah, now he's coming rowdy. Okay, well I suppose I quite like that now. It's a full assault across, isn't it?
Yep.
I think Stor's been playing for some time as well.
And I think if you go that far, don't you throw this plus strength bull in as well?
Stor is actually pretty good at Battle Brothers.
I bet he is.
He knows what he's talking about.
That man is incredibly smart. The interview with him on the latest Fumble podcast.
I have listened to
other podcasts are available. Shows a very fine mind at work. Yeah, other podcasts are available, but not as good. I'm fine with that. If people listen to another one and ours, I'm moderately confident. Well, I prefer ours, but then I'm biased. Of course I am.
Get the get the champ ladder.
Okay, well,
a 5.
Why should Claw be doing anything when a rookie beast just killed?
Mighty Blow did a thing.
It certainly did.
He needs to try it and it works. That's a
That's a 50-50 on the Apoth. So
in turn.
first, because that's what Apoth needed is nerfing. I knew someone I could be cross at about that.
Would you guys have thought about using the Apo there, or would you guys have
He
has to
instantly
go
used
in.
it?
Has to go in.
Yeah.
He got 5 players that's worth saving.
Yeah.
And he
No, I mean,
needs that player.
I mean,
But
if he
it's
loses
like
this game, the whole
Dwarf.
team is dead. So use it, Rowdy. Use it the minute you've got anything decent out.
No, I mean
I'd
without
have possibly
without
used it on a KO there, but you need that decent second.
without considering the sort of game, without considering like the next game, like you would definitely have, because he looked like he thought about it for a little while there, like obviously because it wasn't a badly hurt. So
Yeah.
I was just wondering whether, I don't think I would have thought about it for that long, but I think I would have kind of instinctively just used it. But I guess it's right to think about it. But
No, I'd have used it instantly. Doesn't matter
Yeah.
what the injury was. I'd have had to go on that one.
too valuable a
But
piece.
yeah, I mean, it could have been. You might be right. He could have been thinking, "Trade Dios," whatever language he swears.
And
but
they're
to
both
come in,
Spanish. They know each other.
Yeah, just thinking about it, actually, like it does matter about the next game, doesn't it? Because yeah, you just want that piece for the final if you get through to the final.
Yeah.
Desperately.
He might, to be fair, it's Spanish. He might not been thinking, just swearing.
Yep, could have been throwing his.
Dice around, his hands around, shouting a bit. He gets it's no problem stunning the Nurgle, but it's kind of stopping there.
Didn't want to pile on that one either.
Yes, but you can create the space through the stuff. If you, unfortunately, now of course those warriors are about to become active again.
Nurgle don't have any dirty players, do they?
Nope.
No.
Which is, I think,
They have They have a kick. We've been having much fun. They have a kick rod on the bench.
Yeah, I really don't like that very much.
Yeah,
They've got a Blodge Pestigore, yes, and a kick rotter.
we did have a lot of fun about that kick runner in one of the earlier games.
Well, I mean, I don't like it, but maybe he fears elves one-turning and wants to place the kick to make that tiny bit harder, or I don't know.
And he already his ugliness.
I wouldn't have it.
His ugliness is the key thing for stopping the elf one turn anyway.
I'm just thinking of the disturbing presence. I'm just thinking from Dio's point of view. I think I would rather face a kick rotter in the final than a dirty player rotter that could potentially take some stuff
Absolutely,
out. You can shave a bit of percentage off my one turning chance, and I was putting a hobgoblin out here. Is he thinking about moving into this space on the right? He's got one more chorf to move here.
It looked like he's taking it. The bulls are fast.
If he is, he really should have gone. Yeah, it does look like.
If he is, he really should have followed up on that
too.
bomb hit.
Yeah. And the problem is, as I said, if he'd done it the turn before, whilst those warriors were stunned, it would have been, I think, a lot better. Because they're going to get up into all sorts of problems for you. And it let a rotter get up, which is now, an active minor concern as well.
Yeah,
and you still ended up doing it. But the space is there. Particularly bulls can obviously move 9. We all know that go for its fighting is a lie.
It's going to be those Nurg warriors are going to stand up next turn and be pretty annoying to clear and keep the cage moving. Like he can. It's going to be a bit of a fight around that area, isn't it? He's going to blitz the hobgoblin.
Yeah, I mean it's a fight that the dwarves have chosen, and it's on their terms. They've got their
We've got a lot of guard in there. Yeah.
Yeah, they've got their best pieces there ready to try and do some damage, but it's doing damage to AV9 with foul appearance and disturbing presence, which is not necessarily where you'd be choosing to try and do that damage. But if they can chip one of those two,
yeah,
it would massively change the momentum of the drive. And it has seized the space. That hobgoblin being a strength 4 ball carrier is very defended anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can afford to potato a bit with it because it's got high survivability of incoming hits, and of course it's
What?
blodge as well. So
Wasn't he trying to dodge from tents at the end there? Was he dodging the dwarf from tents or something?
Must have been. Oh.
Yeah. Right, so some Claw Mighty doing a bit of work.
yep.
Dio rubbing his hands.
The problem is it's pretty one-sided. They're damaging at the moment.
Yes, Dio's going to be hoping, I'd have thought, but one of the Nurgles to go down. They're more of a concern, I would suggest. I don't think either are a massive concern. But of the two, the Nurgle will have some things that could upset even AG5 and Strength 4 elves.
Mm-hmm.
The CD, really, they've got a couple of killers and a decent bull.
I think if I was playing elves, I'd rather play them against the Nurgle team.
Both are fine.
Yeah, both are fine.
You think so?
I was
Against Dwarf so much.
let's put it that way. My non-existing Wood Elf team was borderline unlucky not to beat the Dwarf.
Yeah, to be Carlos earlier in there. What was that?
Yeah, both are fine, but of the two, I think
Let's
I'd
put
rather
it that
face the
way.
Dwarves.
And my team is not existing. Deus is a 2200 high elf team.
Yeah, and it's got so much speed that the CDBs is just so easy to isolate. That bull is a worry, but again, it can be dealt with. The bull carrier
And
is
the-
strong, but
The
there are
Blood
answers
Strength
to that.
5. The Blood Strength 5 bull is pointless. Not pointless, but not really a problem for elves. They don't really care. The attack
Yeah,
mighty blow is annoying, but
Okay, so you're standing up the Nurgle warriors. Blitzed, but didn't pile on the hobgoblin, so just stunned the hob.
putting all the big guys in.
You're gonna GFI with the beast.
I think so.
Oh, GFI.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was kind of telegraphed all the way.
If you're going to, I don't know, what is that beast doing? The thing is, with no guard, the beast is less than good, isn't it? It's sort of it's just a bit no guard, no stand firm.
He kind of needs to find a hobgoblin to kill with it so he can get guard for final.
Yeah. I was
If he
just
gets
wondering whether you could have.
I think if it was going anywhere, it should have been doing two go.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what I was thinking.
Grab the ball.
Yeah, I was
So
thinking that as well.
I'm confused as to the square it fell in, but or just dropping back as a sort of figurative threat
it also
as the Chaos Dwarves push forwards. But
and
it
exactly
was an odd place for it to fail because
Yeah,
it was on an odd mission.
and giving that chain push for free as well in that square.
Yeah. Well, the Chaos Dwarves should be able to solidify this push
Yeah, I think so.
and control the clock for at least a couple of turns from this position. It's whether they can turn that into the dominance of the half. It's not so much necessarily about them fearing the score. It's fearing Nurgle just one turn on the line of scrimmage.
I don't think punching the killer pesty with the dirty player hob will be a priority. Like, he's got no kill skills. The hob is just a rando block against the killer pesty, so I don't think he'll prioritize that.
Do you know, if it's me, I'd probably dodge off that. I may even stay there to stop it doing anything without a dodge off. In fact, I'd probably do that. I'd sacrifice the hobgob.
Well,
And I'd probably just, I'd have tried to get everything downfield, including both bulls. But of course, one's already done its business.
he's a bit short on dudes here, isn't he? He's lost 2 chorfs, so I don't think he can afford to. I'm not sure. I think I would.
At this point, I'd move forwards with the Chorf, Hobgoblin, and Bull, and then I would blitz off my most killy Chaos Dwarf, risking the 1 die.
Yeah.
And at least 3 squares afterwards, reinforce that cage. And then I'd have to feel I'd leave Hobgoblin on the killer, just to make that a dodge if it does want to come. And probably score next turn, unless things start to look a lot better for me.
I think I would 3+ dodge the dirty player away. I don't think the killer, like, It depends how. I think I would want that hobgoblin free,
I
and I
think
would
this
take
might be a
chance of trying to
variant of
dodge him.
that where he does blitz off at the end.
Yeah, he is blitzing.
Yeah.
Is he blitzing and coming away?
Or is he stepping in and trying to... No, I think that's right.
FD reckons blitzing the killer and then fouling.
Yeah, the problem is there's a lot of spare players over on the other side that can get back because of the man disadvantage. There's the mighty blow Chaos Warrior up that side, which is going to become relevant.
Oh, shot me failed.
Stepping in the midfield. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Okay, that shakes things up a bit in this half.
Well, I mean, it was the safe order to do it if you were going that way, because the ball is in a little pocket now. I still think the ball needed to move forwards that turn.
You stacked all the GFIs.
And I was you can call it a pocket, but if that's been a knockdown, the string 4 could have hit it.
Yes,
You'd
I said
still
a bit of a pocket. I mean, it's not super safe. Obviously, there was a huge fail there. Presumably, the ball was moving afterwards.
Oh. Oh, it's helpful. Wow. The beast is doing good work for the job.
Yeah, the beast has suddenly become hugely relevant. Well done, beast. Possibly saving the Chaos Dwarf drive.
But that's...
If the beast only moved there was a way through.
Yeah. That still was it, yeah.
Yeah, the wrestle strength guy had a route through, didn't he?
Do we need to talk about why it's guard and not 2 heads in the last game of that one again? Or are we just ignoring that fact this time?
Is he gonna go for a hit anyway with the wrestle strength guy?
Oh.
I think he might do here. Oh no, yeah, well, good. What's this? A 5+ dodge?
Yeah.
Again, if it's a
he can afford to throw a reroll at it, but even when you get there, it's a 1 die, isn't it?
1, 2,
That's 2 die.
4.
Strength 4.
But that's where you're blitzing from. That's a guard.
He
can get an assist round with the rotter though.
Yeah, the rotter can get around if you want to, but isn't it easier just hitting the guard Dwarf instead and waiting a turn?
Yeah, I think
that's what he's doing. Yeah.
I don't think you don't need to push it.
The position is just a tiny bit too strong to assault. It's because the recovery options afterwards aren't fantastic. But it was very careless just throwing that ball forwards that way.
Well,
again, I just thought there was a slightly stronger pocket available too.
Yeah, he wanted to get the hit on the killer, didn't he? He wanted the dirty player hob to hit the killer.
Now the dirty player hob is getting hit. But he's...
Why not that one?
I think he wants it available to cover a move down the... This is bull fear. Someone has been bull stung before. But that marginalises the rear bull fairly effectively. It's a very strong position.
Yeah, I like this.
Oh, you can still potato forwards with the strength or blodge. But that killer is now covering when you do. And there looks to be fairly easy assists to come in to give him 2 dice as well.
Yeah, that's I guess that's the hobgoblin. Hobgoblin can go with it. Ooh, but that strength 4 is so annoying.
I think I would blitz with the bull exactly on the hobgoblin, and then at least I've got a bull coming with me.
Yep.
Yeah, and
it needs to not snake the bull this time.
Because I've got at least 1 dice on the guy marking the ball.
He's got 2 dice on him, isn't he?
Yes, I have. Yeah, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
Yeah, because of the hit on the rudder.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the runner offers the second assist, so that's 2 dice on that, and then I can go forward. Just gets not much of a pocket. I think he's not going to be able to. I think he is trying to stall up pretty much where he is.
Yeah, if
he may go one nearer the side. Oh no, okay.
I think he's going to sideline cage this, especially if he hits the tackle guy down.
He can go in just behind the bull.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, absolutely. He could be diagonally to the one behind and one nearer the line from the bull, and that's pretty safe from most directions. So that's a nice recovery from there. I'm not sure the Nurgle made enough of that bull going down.
Using the sort of mobility of the strength 4 break tackle bull before break tackle gets nerfed.
Yes. Horrific. Why?
He's not used any rerolls yet, so in the entire half, so that's pretty good. He's still getting to the second
one.
end of the half.
He used the free one.
Oh, he used his free one, didn't he? Yeah. Triff would have kept the strength guy back as a sweeper. Yeah, I don't like basing the ball wasn't really doing very much there, and he already had 2 assists on the strength 4 guy, so you're kind of neutralizing the strength 4-iness of it. Because if you just had the strength 4 guy back as a sweeper, not connected, then you need to do a lot of assists to do it.
To be fair, he did need to blitz the rudder to have 2 assists, but yeah.
And a push result on that Hobgoblin would have been a big problem because the bull would have struggled to come through past it. So there were some issues there. But it all worked. And it was, it was a decent plan.
No, but as a chorf.
I think if he'd have got a push on the hob, he could still have maybe just moved the other Hobgoblin up and relied on a 3+ dodge out with the prone Hobgoblin at the end. So it wasn't a disaster.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there were other routes, but yes, if it had been a push, the bull would probably have been trapped slightly further back.
FT, it's not a pommer, but yes, the guard might have stand firm. The pommer is still alive and fine. But it was still pretty important.
Ooh. Double GFI?
Might as well reroll it. You got 3 rerolls in 3 turns.
Apo's gone niggled.
That's it. It's like seeing my elf. All his bad injuries.
It's
3 5s. Oh.
That's a big chip there for the Nurgles.
Yep.
Now we definitely know who Dio is rooting for. Tackle Mighty Blowout.
Dio's like, come on, Jules. Dio wants the Jules to go down to like 5 players and then somehow scam
they struggle over the line for a 2-1 win or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Picking Rexon in Sweden. Why in Sweden?
I think that does count as a Dio win, that one. Triff wants Nurgle to win, so the final is actually a game.
Yes, please.
Yeah, at this point, that's I think what we're all thinking, because
these
Chaos Dwarves do not look ready for a final, and it's going to get worse, you feel.
Well,
I can see some snowballing from here.
Yeah, let's call Dio for Swedish.
I mean, Chaos Dwarves are a beautiful team, but they are very prone to the snowball. Particularly once you start chipping the high armor pieces, and that's quite a lot out already. So
he's been pretty unlucky,
the others. It means the guard wall can't interlock and help.
I mean, we say unlucky, but it's all been claw hits, isn't it? Claw mighty bow hits on the. So,
but it's been yeah, but it's just a combination. It's still. It's not that many hits, and he made 3 casualties, and all of them been missing.
Bad one.
Yeah,
bad ones.
Bad.
And the chat is going officially crazy over
where Dio is from. I thought he was Dutch evangelical. All right, still on 10-7.
Yeah, I guess scoring you have in this case. At this stage, you have it just going.
Wow, that's really big. Big hit on the ball, isn't it?
Nurgle is not likely to score back, but it's just
Well,
looking second half.
let's face it, that casualty is pissed on all of our chips, hasn't it? I mean, we'll stick with it. And of course, it's Blood Bowl. Anyone can win a game, even from here, because they're 1-0 up. They are winning the game. But it's a big ask from here.
Mm-hmm.
Big ask.
It's time for a second slice of Dayton walnut, I feel. Yeah, that is.
Actually, I have a very nice walnut cob.
Oh.
I might join you in a little piece of bread.
Break bread.
Well, just whilst we wait for them to set up.
Timo belongs to the world.
I habitually get my partner, who believes in all this Christmas nonsense, an advent calendar. And this year I have surpassed myself and won the advent calendar war with a Joe and Seth's gourmet popcorn advent calendar.
Oh, hello.
Which has 24 different flavours of gourmet popcorn for her to enjoy.
How many pops do you get per window?
About 8.
All right,
except
okay,
the
that's a
final
decent
one,
number.
which is a few more.
Okay.
And they are in fantastic flavours. I think it's a very good product. I would recommend it. So, stunned by how obviously I had done a fantastic job of being awesome, she panicked, went online and got me an advent calendar, which turns out to have 2 different flavours, one of jam and one of marmalade on each different day.
Oh.
I just don't think that's the same. I mean, it's okay. Don't get me wrong. I'm not ungrateful, but it's still big win. Still a big win for me.
Did you reveal your triumph on the 1st of December, and then she went online to buy one on the 2nd of December for you?
Well, no, sneakily, because we do Thanksgiving, she decorated the house on the 29th or 30th, and that's when she got the kids' ones out. So that's when I presented hers.
The big
so she was
whammy
able to go online, use her Amazon Prime, and still have it in time to present it to me on December the 1st.
Sheepishly.
So I get like a B&B sized pot of either marmalade or jam every morning.
Yep. I'm liking that.
That's not as good, is it? It's not as good. Right. So just how many Chaos Dwarves have to die?
Only one. The 2 are...
How are you assaulting this 2-turn attempt? Got to have a go for it.
Yeah, but
obviously.
I'm not sure how much he's... You run some pesticles down, I guess, and some rotters and take it from there.
I mean, but are you trying to protect the pests and put the rotters out in?
I think I would protect the killer.
I mean, that's going to leave you slightly further from making it happen.
I think I'll just have as many possibles going up, and then he can take one. But that's because none of them is really that good if you just take the more or less skillless ones.
They're out of range of a rookie beast double go for it to smash it to the actual
that's
one of them.
Also,
but you could still drop it with 2 go for it's in front because you don't care if they fail as your final action if everything else works.
Yeah, that ball location is pretty bad.
That's terrible.
Mm.
But as I said, you've got the rerolls. You're going to get them back. So there's absolutely no harm in trying still.
No, he's the important part. He's trying to skill up the beast now. Oh no!
Well, a stand firm beast would be of much use against Eld. And of all the pieces, it's the armor one that went, and the last thing you're going to want to see, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like he's just going for this different scoring options.
Although I suspect there are, for no reason I can think of, some who in any Chalice game enjoy watching Chaos Dwarves get beat.
To be fair, I've been often been killed by Chorfs. I don't dislike seeing Chorfs die.
I think quite a lot of people probably have, Core.
I don't mind seeing Nurgle die either, so it's fair game.
An experience not unknown to players of Blood Bowl 2.
He's protecting his killer.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's going up the non-pom side with most of his players like the killer. I don't know whether he'll put his big strength 4 wrestle guy up to get pommed.
It looks like it.
He is.
But then, if he puts that up there, he's going to need quite a lot of assists to take him down.
And there's two rotters coming up the middle as well now.
Yeah, it'll swing so much of the team the other way to go for that piece with a pom that it's going to leave the other side a little more vulnerable.
And also, good thing
And it
if
can give it some cover. Yeah, there we go.
Pestigor kind of deserved to die for taking guard.
Do you do another rotter move up with another GFI before you even pick up the ball here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's got enough scoring threats. I think maybe I would want to. Yeah, anyway. But, like, so I think I would have been tempted to do some GFIs if I picked up the ball on a 3+, and I still had the 2 rerolls. I think I would have wanted to do some GFIs, and he can't really do that here anymore.
Nope.
Like, just
No,
still with a
you
reroll
can't.
going.
I mean, yeah, you're right. I think maybe I'd have left one rotter back, also in case I felt I needed to stage the ball through it for any reason.
Yeah, that also is true. Yeah,
You could
with a handoff.
you could definitely have done the pickup and go for it with that.
I was just looking at, and he had 4 scoring threats in place already.
And
He
because
had 5 scoring threats. Sorry, he had 5 scoring threats in place. He did not need to GFI the 6th scoring threat.
especially because he's taking the bait of the string 4.
Although, to be fair, 6 is more than 5.
That is true. 6 is greater than or equal to 5. Yeah, I don't know.
And he's
He is
going for
taking
the
the bait.
string. He's going for the bait and the string 4, which means he will have somebody he can free up to go try to score with. Like,
But I mean, there's that lovely Nurgle warrior that did advance, which also can at least clear one thing from its position, probably. And if not, the killer can. So there's some really nice 2-turn options here.
If he gets the 2-turn, it is game over, right? Well, it's not game over, but
it's,
if he gets the 2-turn, it's looking
outside of outlandish kickoffs and wild dice swings, it's incredibly bleak. Yeah, it's over. Yeah.
Flux Streamer wants my date and walnut. Oh, yes, there is some of the cake available. This is Grimble's tea-turn cake. Do you reckon this is typical me calling GG on? It's not turn 1; it's turn 8, Dimmy.
And it's Nurgle is overpowered, you know, but he got sent packing twice by Nurgle.
That is true. It's easy to get sent packing by Nurgle.
Palingon didn't do really. But
Nope.
I sort of understand. This 2-turn looks very difficult to stop, and at this point, you really do need a swing in the dice, and taking that strength piece out really would have been that.
That's mean the pesty. It means they got.
But if you do it, don't you follow up with a foul? Just have yet another shot at that wild swing in dice you need.
But you cannot get over.
Got a bribe. He can go over there, can't he?
No, he's already moved.
Oh no, he can't go over. Yeah, sorry.
He's just protecting dirty player.
Yeah,
that's what he's doing.
But I mean, it could have been supported in other ways. The bull, for example, differently done one of the supports, and then you could have found with the plus strength hobgoblin if you really want. You've got the bribe.
So what do we think of the bribe as an inducement here? Because he's not fouled once during the first half, so.
I'd have had a second apothecary against Claw. I think it's fantastic.
Thank you, Captain Hindsight.
Well, also you can look at how I coach when I face Claw, and I take as many apothecaries as I can fit onto the team.
Just kidding. Captain Hindsight is Boris's nickname for Keir Starmer at the moment, apparently.
Yeah, well, I'd rather take someone that actually does work out where the problems are and has the right answers, because at the moment
hindsight is better than no sight.
Does the wrong thing and doesn't admit it. So yeah, better some sight than none at all.
General Blind or Captain Hindsight.
Yeah, absolutely. What a great choice.
Oh, Mr. Pass. What's he doing? 5+ pass to the Hester.
Yeah.
That's not working.
Yeah, that's dice says no. Of course, we're soon going to have wildly silly passes, which is going to be.
What the pesties? Yeah, I take it they're 4+ passes, are they? Pestigals in the new game?
Oh, 12+ or something. Who cares? Is anyone ever going to throw the ball ever? Are you going to bother? Even trying to work out through the rules how you throw the ball just seems absurd.
I didn't count. Must admit it. He needs, and if he needs to do 2 GF5, it's not worth it.
Yeah, usually if you have to do one GFI to drop a past here, it's usually worth it. But if you have to do two, it's usually
And
not
it's
worth
definitely,
it.
and you have the risk of also tripping and killing yourself on top of it. Where failing the pass just fails the pass.
But if you'd got the 2 squares in on the turn before when he had 2 rerolls available,
then it might have been different, yeah.
But then you still
And
roll
frankly, as Nurgle here, despite being 1 down, you feel 1 up. You think this drive is almost certainly going to go your way, and it at this point it almost doesn't matter who's got the ball in overtime if it goes that far.
Well,
You're looking to
There's still
polish
those
the
two.
dwarves off.
There's still the bull and the hobgoblin together that could do a nasty potato.
Yes, there are still 4 decent players on the Chaos team, but they're just getting so thin that those can't be used effectively. They're going to be able to be tied up, even if it puts you at risk. You can bully the bad ones and put the rotters on the good ones, and you're not that worried about the dice swinging back the other way.
I think Chaos Dwarf used their pizza machine magic in last game.
I mean, look, it's Blood Bowl. Things can still happen. It wouldn't amaze me if we see this, if the Chaos Dwarves somehow hold this up, which is the only sensible goal here, isn't it?
Seeker's Eggs reckons the strength 5 blodge potato is a pretty good potato, which is true. But then there is a strength 5 blitzing Roger or Rackler. Sorry, on the Nurgle team.
Yes,
so,
and if you're down numbers, it's also hard to stop us getting assists it needs.
And it could have been.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not saying it's 100% done. It's not. The Chaos Dwarves still have the ability to chip back and get advantage on any drive. They've got a fantastic bull. There's 2 decent pieces in the Chaos Dwarves. They can even lose 1 and still be in the game. And the bull carrying Hobgoblin is very good. So, yeah.
Killer rocked.
But stays in.
It stays in.
Exactly.
It's been the story for the Nurgle. When the arm was broken, they've just had stuns.
Adev reckons that bull should definitely be removed at some point in this half.
Well, the Nurgle are still rocking a double bench, so a cheeky foul there isn't the end of the world, is it? If it was down, I would love to put a boot in its face.
Hello, Adev. How you doing? You all right? Someone banned Fatin. What the hell, Dimmy? I've kind of self-banned myself anyway. Oh, there goes another hob.
Isn't that the first hub?
That's the first hob, yeah.
It's been good things until now. DM Lord won the game versus the Goblin and won the tournament with 5 wins and a draw.
It's a dream final, isn't it? You're up against goblins.
Playing Rowdy Orcs. Yeah.
But he did so very well.
Cool.
So yeah, you did say at the beginning of this match that the Dwarf team looked pretty thin on the ground, and so I suppose. But thinking about the bribe versus Apo choice, PC, do you normally play with the dirty player on your team? On the dwarf?
On dwarves, I tend not to. 70k and then 20 more for the dirty player is quite a lot. In CCL, if I've got a second runner to develop that I can throw dirty player on, then I do quite like it.
By develop, you mean rookie second runner just with DP?
Yeah, late in the run that stays alive. That might well be a dirty player. If it's, say, the 13th on the roster, that's about where I'd want that.
Okay.
Because, I mean, it's a great tool to have. It's just, it's hard to be efficient with it if you're on, say, 11 or 12 bodies. And like I said, you're dropping the dirty player on a 70k piece. That's a 90k foul.
Yeah, 100 is quite a lot to spend on an inducement that can be screwed over pretty easily if somebody just rubs out your one dirty player, if you know what I mean. So,
whereas a second apart means you can use it incredibly rowdy. I mean, even against this, if I wanted what I wanted on the field, I'll use it even knockout. And then the second one you might be a tiny bit more careful with and look at where you're trying to go next round, or a key piece gone. But one you can just throw in and say, aha, I don't like that. It's great. It becomes tactical rather than sort of defensive.
ADevs takes a lot of DPs when he plays Dwarf, so
That's another reason not to bribe if you have plenty
Oh,
of
as
them.
Dwarfs, I think that's what a Hobgoblin should do.
one ball carrier and the rest DPs. What does Booster do?
Mainly, yes. On Fumble, my the rest of development's going to get very upset. My current and long-lived Chaos Dwarf team just happens to have an Agility 4 bull, so he does the ball carry.
Oh,
That'll end as soon as we move away from these bloated, enormous monstrosities we've currently got on Fumble. Back to more sane team builds that the rule change will certainly bring.
Any news from the Fumble God Krista on how he's doing developing the stuff?
Yeah, it's going apace. There's a couple of hands helping him out. Early February is looking realistic,
Cool.
but obviously that's subject to slip if work or life or COVID
but yeah,
impacts on it in some way.
let's put it away. It's probably pretty sure he will be done before Blood Bowl 3 arrives, right?
Yeah. And there's lots of things there that a casual Blood Bowl 2 player may enjoy dipping their toe in. I mean, already Old World Alliance and Snotlings are running in the rules as they were before the change. Both of those teams have been released and are fully available with all their positionals and stuff. Halflings have got their 2 positionals. Goblins have got the Doom Diver.
More fun star players?
And all these star players are available, all the ones that were in the spikes. So, I mean, Blood Bowl is up to date with everything until this box.
Yeah, but
With
there's some inducement,
very
there's some,
minor exceptions.
especially if there's some inducement things that's not completely updated.
Yes, but there are ones that are, like Riotous keys, you can practice playing with that.
Yeah.
Disposable on ogre teams.
Yeah. I just won my 20k cheerleaders and coaches.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the inducements are certainly going to be a lot more granular.
My favourite is the dirty rotter you could induce. He's amazing. Is he got like sneaky git as well or something? I think he's got dirty player and sneaky git as a rotter. Or I can't remember what is he exactly.
Yes, I think did he go in the 2020 cull? Because of course they slaughtered all the stars that they don't have figures for. All dead.
Yeah, he might be gone in the 2020 cull, but he's fun to play with on Fumble right now.
Well, he's a realistic option. He's a bit more expensive than that player would be to build, but that's what you want in an inducement, is something that can fill a hole in your team that's out temporarily or that you don't have because of the mismatch. There's all sorts of cool stars, and I think we're going to get a lot more. From what I hear, the spikes are going to keep going, expansions are coming, new teams and new races are coming, and they'll come with new inducements.
Yeah,
and new stars. Yeah, Rotten Rick, yeah, he's great.
It's a perfect name as well.
You just have to say "Hiya" while you're fouling. There's a book with star players. FT reckons there is actually going to be a ton more star players. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. So they wouldn't release it with all the star players. I think they can keep the interest going. I'm pretty hyped for 20.
And again, there's nothing in what they released in the rulebook is what they can sell, what they actually sell.
Yeah. It's a catalogue as well, which of course, it needs to be. That's the business model. There's a reason that the 20 teams are the 20 that got into there, and it's because those are the ones where they can show you pictures of things you can buy.
Look at this. This is a bit of a massacre, isn't it?
It's bleak.
If I'm playing an edge team and I get beaten up, there's still stuff you can do. But if you're playing a strength team and you get beaten up like this,
well, you've got to create movement. That's the one thing you're trying to do, so that you can, in some way, try and get in the way of this bull before it gets to the other line. The movement you've got, obviously, is your bull, so that needs to get away or tie enough pieces up, knowing it can get away at the moment it needs to, and it's just a bit too marginalised at the side at the moment. And the hobgoblins, of course, could try and get out, but not if they're on tentacles.
Would you, at any point, just lie down and then hope to win the toss in overtime? Knowing that the guy's got no dirty players?
Yep.
Yeah, Core would.
Would that point be
I'm
soon?
not very good at that. It's not a place I like to be, is lying down. So I might pretend to, but I'd be constantly thinking about it. I would have 2-died uphill the beast. so that I could get the hobgoblin away, but at least he's doing something.
Yep.
But it is, you definitely need to think about it if you end in a turn where everybody's laying down.
Because probably your best hope here is winning the toss in overtime, still having however many players he's got right now. How many has he got?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's
players.
probably slightly more sensible, but laying down here is the Nurgle have a bench. They can foul.
Yeah, but they're
They
less
can
likely.
foul, they're
They're
If you
less
take the
likely
bull
to.
out with a foul, I mean, I'd take the hobgoblin out first, but if you take the bull out with a foul and or the hobgoblin out with a foul,
The problem is,
overtime's pointless.
but Claw Mighty Blow Pylon is more likely to actually work than a foul.
Yeah. Yes.
And that's.
If
But
he
you've
fights
got-
like this, he's giving away 2 claw pom hits pretty much every turn. If Gestionador.
Well, I mean, you need to not. You need to get off the tentacle, dodge things out.
They had a
Spread
bench
it.
of 1, and that bench has
So
been
you create,
gone.
you can create movement from the floor as long as your pieces are. You give them 1 blitz a turn,
Yeah,
and then if you're getting similar or at least creating options as to where things could stand up and limiting where you can move, you can try and get the strength 5 bull to do something, which delays the ball getting to the line. And I mean, I just don't see it in overtime. You've got the tools.
I wasn't suggesting that he should lie down right now and just give up on turn 10, but I was just wondering at any point, like, when do you consider doing that? So
it's tagging the ball carrier is getting based now.
He's getting
Yeah.
based.
Well, that's. I think we can throw the good game in there, and we just go and make some tea and coffees, can't we? That's. I've been on Reddit. If he bases this, it's over.
Adev's making it sound like we know what the Kenthis defense is. what is the Kenthis defense?
GG.
Jimmy G's called it.
Yeah, it's GG. Full based. Right, so it's CD versus Dionysian.
Did he do?
What did you try and do there? One do the claw bomber.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Didn't get himself a move back.
no, but at least he got only himself stunned. Fix got stopping the
Things
removal.
got doing a thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Still not great.
It was 1 die, and whilst it wasn't great, you've got to try something because you
Yeah,
need to
it is-
turn how these
When he
fortunes are
took
going.
when he took that 1 die, do you think he planned on using one of his 2 rerolls?
No, I like and why the hell using it?
Yeah, it's.
I know because it's a claw bomb, and to take that hit, you might accept it. Might go wrong.
Then you don't make it, you dodge out instead.
Yeah,
But you've left the beast there, which, again, you should have been bullying this beast a bit more.
Oh wait, a certain member of our chat is asking how much attrition there has been on the Nurgle team.
they got a KO. That's a KO on the Nurgle team.
Yeah, there's been a KO.
Have we got any players skilled on the Nurgle team? Been keeping track of the
His skills up.
multiple kills where they've been.
Oh, the claw might.
The beast's only 1 more off. He might try and skill the beast.
There's a Nurgle warrior on there. There's
49.
the Nurgle warrior on 49.
Yeah, the claw mighty blow. He might keep hitting with that one to try to get tackle on it.
Or if he wins the toss in OT, he can score with that Nurgle warrior. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but definitely prioritize getting the beast this time. But I'll get that warrior. I'll do quite a lot to get that warrior skilled up.
What would you take on the Nurgle warrior if you were facing Deer in the final?
Tackle.
Ah,
He only got 1 tackle.
yeah. I thought the answer would be tackle, but it's interesting to think of a Nurgle warrior doesn't normally go tackle before guard, does it? But if you're
He's
building
got-
it with
he's got
one
enough
game
guard.
in mind,
I think
Yes,
he got
it
enough.
only has 1 game, so there is
Yeah.
only 1. Completely changes what build you want because it's NAF style, isn't it? It's how do you build to beat this.
I had a chance
Tackle is better.
I had a chance of taking a tackle on my Storm Vermin before facing Crucifer because I thought I'd face Dio the next round. Like, this is my secondary rookie Storm Vermin that just had Mighty Blow.
Yep.
I went Juggernaut on him because I was facing against Crucifer. the Juggernaut wasn't super useful. So
Yes, I took Fend as a skill for the semi, knowing it was really there, so I could use it in the final in last season. Knowing it would be Crucifer in his CD in the final, I wanted Fend on a piece there.
Do you like Fend? What?
No, but it's. I mean, against Clawpom, it's a slight help to that.
That's the job.
I
It was a
like
key
Fend.
piece for me that it just gave a tiny bit of defense to.
Of the
There was
newest,
also a stand, firm, mighty blow, guard, beard, so it meant that had lots of movement options when it was being hit.
Yeah.
Fend is not bad. Fend is fine.
No, it's not bad. I mean, I don't love it, but I don't hate it.
Are there any pieces you take Fend on before the 4th skill or something?
Yes.
What pieces are they?
Amazon line movements that cannot roll double.
Oh really? What? Just first skill?
Second.
After?
And
Block
if
or
I'm
wrestle.
rolling a really tight Norse team, a couple of Norsemen sometimes for the line of script.
Yeah, Norse lineman as well. I don't mind even.
Norse often end up with a bunch of tackle, don't they? Because they take a load of tackle on, like 3 tackle players on their liners or something. Do you reckon the tackle would be a wasted skill against his elves?
That's fine. Orc. That's a lot of linemen. It's 83 linemen where it's like the alternative is you have to dodge with them and stuff like that.
Yeah, but like all of those players you just mentioned there, other than maybe Amazon line women, I think I'd take Dirty Player first. Like, what do you get on North linemen? Dirty Player. What do you get on Orc linemen? Dirty Player. Start fouling dudes.
Well, I mean, fouling is going to be massively
better,
but the variance is just too high right now, and the payoff to the risk not often good. There's a place for fouling, and there are teams that should be absolutely laying the boot in. And in 2020, there's going to be some fantastic fouling. Fouling is definitely back, baby, back.
And guard for fouling, it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, guard assist fouling is the huge change.
What's this?
Well, I mean, fouling has been not untouched, but buffed. So guard now assists fouls.
Really?
Sneaky Git now cancels half of the sending offs. It always means you only look at the second dice for a double.
And you can keep moving.
That's a slight buff. And you keep moving afterwards, so that's a slight buff. So it's had 2 slight buffs.
Guard assisted fouls, though.
And a couple of pieces come with Dirty Player +2. The Death Roller, so one that's rosterable, and Borak, so one that's inducible.
Yeah.
And he also comes with Sneaky Git.
If you read
which means someone might now actually eventually sometime at some point foul with it.
I missed the guard assisting fouls. Like, I did a pretty deep read through of the rules in the summer, and I'd missed that, so that's news to me.
The only reason guard has not done it before, I guess, is because guard is already really good, because it doesn't really make much sense that the player can help really blocking.
No, it's absurd. It's a buff that wasn't needed.
No, but if you look from the other way aside, why shouldn't guard not help on foul when it helps on blocking?
So it's not like to be errated or something. It's a clear, specific mention.
Doesn't seem to be. It definitely, the way they've linked actions and said what guard does, it assists on fouls.
Wow.
It's just like it's literally what it is. It's like block. It's the same assist rule as blocks. I love it. Now the dirty. Has he fouled yet at all? And now the dirty player's gone as well.
I don't think he has.
No.
You know.
Fouling is a little bit snowbally, isn't it? So like, if you end up on the wrong end of the snowball, then you just don't end up throwing any fouls anyway. So
I know, but it's still fun. It's just a funny fact now.
Sad times for Viagra.
What's it? Was that the name?
Viagra the Hobgoblin is down permanently.
Well, is that another 5 as well?
Boom. That bull's still on the pitch though. And the Hobgoblin strength 4 is still on the pitch, so...
Well, I mean, while it's there is a shot. You know, that bull can break tackle into some extraordinary places. And it, at some point, should really try to, because I do think knocking that ball over and it maybe not being picked up is the best chance the Chaos Dwarves have right now. I think the overtime potato, they're just going to be overwhelmed.
Oh, couldn't stay wrecked. Yeah, he might as well just die if he tries something. Like even like this team, if it wins, it's by now worse than mine, which takes a lot.
The ball's gonna break tackle straight into the ghost box.
I don't know, if you get the winnings to replace a Chaos Dwarf,
It's-
even a Rook can do some work against elves, maybe induce a Thark.
You'll get a ton of money.
Yes, you will. Because Dio's team's very good, but it's also very fat.
Because it's high elf.
Unlike
Yeah, but
Dio
Dio-
himself,
Dio
who is
can-
not only very small, but of course fueled by Huel, so
Oh, I thought you
more
were
or
going
less
to say
dark.
Dio's very good and very fat.
But now he's thin and fueled.
Well, I mean, I can only assume Dio was fat, else why would you put yourself...
Why
But I
put
can
yourself through the
assume that he
misery of
isn't,
fuel?
because he seems to eat Huel. And no one is eating Huel and enjoying it, or, asking for seconds, so...
He is ingesting Huel.
Yeah, he's allowing it into his orifice.
And a foul
I'm
appearance
just,
in
I'm
as
just
well.
thinking of like Captain LeChuck in one of the Monkey Island games, where he just does his villain thing from his bedroom, like with an array of tubes coming into his body. Oh, we've got the old 1 in 9 here. Last reroll.
It's just
Or
What? But you...
he's going for a break tackle blitz, isn't he? He wants to break tackle in here.
he want to break straight into the cat box. I
Straight
don't
into
know.
the kill box.
He cannot. He's in. He needs double dodges just to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
He
double
doesn't-
dodged, so it's not the turn.
You should do a blitz that bull free to try to get into a position for next turn. First, before you even started doing
Is it
1
us,
in 9
Claw?
blocks.
Is it when we watch a game? Is that why?
It's,
Wow, what happened there? That was
break
He
tackle.
did the double dodge,
no tackle, right,
popped
okay.
the break tackle on one, and got away with the other.
No, he blocked the warrior first. So it's
Oh no,
only
he blocked
one
himself off, did he? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's only
He did-
one.
Yeah. It was only a one, but it did pop it, didn't it? I saw
Yeah.
it go. Okay, well I like that. If you're going to get it, like I said, it's got to be out. It's got to be able to. I
Oh,
didn't
no,
like using the re-roll, but I guess he felt at this point he has to stop them. And I kind of agree. There's no point going to
Yeah.
overtime.
And that bull has to survive the piling on hit coming up in a second.
Well, something has to, because the luck has to change. Otherwise, it's dead anyways.
Yeah.
Oh, so naughty words, let it go.
Let
No,
it
he's
go.
definitely not worried about long-term attrition or something. You don't really care about that in a playoff game, really, do you? Like irrelevant, but
It's also too
Like,
late
Yes, I
to
hear
care.
people care about it at other times.
it's just a matter of what gives you the highest percentage. And he's looking at
It's a
something
matter
like
of every
10%
single
overtime.
game. It's how you win. It's the pieces are there to make that happen, and then worry about the next game.
Yeah. And sometimes that means you end up with a dead team.
Yeah.
Yeah, but lovely. They're pixels. It's not the end of the world. They give you new ones for free. It's fine.
I think-
but then you have
I
to
think
play
the-
a new team.
The thing is, though, like when you're playing something like Champ Ladder, like there is during the ladder season, there is also the other. There's more to it than that, isn't there? Because
Yes,
I
there
don't-
comes
I
the
don't
point
think
if you're
I'm-
making a run, trying to challenge.
Yeah.
Where you should start looking at the equity team record, trying to achieve that.
yeah, I don't think I'm very good at that. I'm quite good
Yeah, me neither.
at just going for wins and aggressive on the appo and stuff when I don't really need to be in rando ladder games. Like I don't.
Yeah, I'm not
Like
only not
losing
good
very
at
much.
that. I don't
Yeah.
like position score. Going for
Yeah.
wins.
I'm also slightly famous for getting my good elf teams killed.
Yeah.
I don't see any reason why you should be allowed to put them down. It doesn't seem okay to me.
Oh, what's going on over here then?
He's
Is he just going to stick the beast on the ball or something? That's not that great, is it? Tentacles
No.
don't hang up the strength 5 ball very well.
no, it's a problem. The bull's still standing.
Well, I feel somewhat vindicated now that we've created a little that's enough threat to avoid
Stupid.
Nurgle position fall to pieces. It's probably not still going to be enough. Now we're back in an ongoing game situation. Remember, all the Chaos Dwarf.
He could have had a reroll. Oh.
Cheeky
Rerolls
rock
are for the
there.
weak.
Yeah, but Rudders are fine. They're 83. Rudders can do a lot more than people
Yeah,
think.
rotters are. Yeah, people look at them and think zombies, and they're not. Much more capable.
I played a league season of Nurgle and ended up scoring way more touchdowns than Rudders that I actually wanted to, just because they're 83 and standing there anyway.
I think on Blood Bowl 2, there's also the pieces in the client. They move in the way that zombies do.
Yeah.
Which again, I just think helps people dismiss them in ways you really
To be
shouldn't.
fair, they look kind of like zombies, like in all ways and shapes.
Almost like they're just a coloured reskin.
I'd say league, tabletop league. Not CCL. CCL is not league for me.
I'm just looking at one rotter now. I'm thinking that looks quite a lot like Dimmy G on a Friday night.
Just as you said that in my...
People underestimate him, but actually he's capable of scoring some touchdowns.
Are you saying the similarities go beyond mere looks?
It's time to span the verses, Dimmy.
Never seen a rudder sitting safely in a chair. No. That's a thing as well.
Dimmy's also a little bit rocky in the chair as well. At that point in the evening.
The problem
Right,
with the 4+ is it's not even that good now.
He's got to go for it though, right? 4+ and then use the break tackle to try and come around for a 2 dice.
But he also needs to take away assist, otherwise it's just 1 dice.
No, can't he just come around the top?
But it's
No, it's a 3+ to just go straight.
Oh yeah, just to go straight through here.
yeah, and he got
Which is what he's
got
doing.
dodge,
And you know, dodge popped, but he had the dodge as well. So
Yep.
1 in 9 failed to get there.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
then he didn't get his 6. So
was
you
doing
got a
my
new
break
chair,
tackle, man.
Dimmy. Is that with a seatbelt in?
If only he had a. If only he had a breathe. But I still like it. It's still delaying the Nurgle, giving them some slight problems.
Yep, move the chair
Still needs
closer
more
to the
dice
bridge.
in his favour.
Hello,
But don't we
Cookie.
all?
This game is almost over. It's been a bit of a massacre on the Chorfs have been on a bit of the receiving end of some not terrible nights, just snowbally casualties really.
Yeah.
Still.
There hasn't really been any mistakes. I mean, I liked the way they didn't engage, and then the way they engaged was reasonably.
Who, the Chorfs or the Nurgle?
The
or both?
Chorfs, the screen they put out, I mean, it was the worthless pieces that got tied up. I think he missed that chance to move across, but he's got the drive done. And despite that bull go for it fail, which made it look very nasty. I'm not sure the Nurgle took full advantage, but they did manage to chip the pieces because the position was destroyed.
Yeah, I thought his offense was pretty decent. I think he timed his offense quite nicely. You don't have to still turn 8 against Nurgle, do you? Because, well, I mean, sometimes you do, but
It's
he
mainly
had a pretty decent shot at the 2-turn actually. But he scored on turn 7 with a reasonably controlled drive, considering he had a bit of a snake somewhere there. And
I mean, I still think that
was,
early move to the side would perhaps even less attrition, more need for the Nurgle to be repositioning and less on hitting.
Yeah,
But he chose to go in harder because he had the pieces to take them.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he needed to try and chip himself, but it didn't happen. And yeah, I think we feel it's somewhat inevitable, but it isn't, of course.
and Cheeky takes the push power just to use his tackle skill. Oh, he must pump that.
Surely.
Or is he thinking next turn because the bull can get away and run? Oh, you should. Oh, and it's another casualty.
Yeah.
Um.
I know a fat lady with a glass of water that's just been called from her dressing.
It's a little bit of a headache for ibuprofeno.
Oh dear. Thank you,
Oh,
ladies
dear.
and gentlemen. We're here always.
He's gone. Oh dear. Yeah, that's bad times, isn't it?
But he based the ball. How can he be?
We all saw it. And technically he's winning. Right now he is winning. It just needs an act of Nuffle, some hobgoblin to get heroic, power that ball carrier, knock it over, and someone not pick it up. And this could still end wonderfully.
He can still. It's a bit of a long shot now.
Less one-sided than the Dio Fatten match. Oh my god, I started beef with Dimmy in chat here, and I really didn't need to.
If you take on the champ,
if you take on the champ, you best not miss.
you best be ready for the chair.
Be ready for the chair. Up, strength 4 hobgoblin. Go.
Strength 4 hob. What's the dodge?
One dice to guard to make the ankle better. Do you need that? It will save you a bit. I think I'll take that 3+1 dice.
Yes. Because then with the push, you just do 4+3+ out.
Yeah.
GFI, 2 dice.
Yep.
Well, whenever the other team doesn't have much tackle, then dodging with your dodge pieces is always a bit of a decent desperation move. So
it's not like there's much else left. That's a nice
must when the devil drives.
And his best odds is definitely getting the ball on the floor.
It's the only shot, isn't it? It's all or nothing here on that.
what was Carlos's team at the beginning of the playoffs? I was just wondering, like, whether he has, whether he's playing with 2 rerolls and 12 players, and that was what his team was at the beginning of this tournament, like the knockout part of the tournament, or has he had bad attrition?
I think he's been pretty much the same, if I remember right. I can find the first round.
I mean, you have to hand it to both of these players. They've got to. Yeah. I mean, there's been a bit of a dicing, but they've both got to the semis here and both got a shot at the final. So,
well, as I said to Elliot when he lost his,
played well.
It's always horrible when you lose at this point in any competition. It's horrible when you lose full stop. But then you wake up the next morning and you should be glad and proud that you got there, because there's a lot of Blood Bowl being played to reach this point.
It makes the 1 dice into a 2 dice. I'm not sure it's worth getting 2+2+ to make this not just a 3+, but hey ho. He was 18. Oh,
no.
Bullshit.
Dimmy G, for example, would cut his nuts off to be a Dallas. Of course, he'd have to get them back from Michelle first.
It brings to mind the famous Shawnee Chaos team that had DG qualifying teams as their players. Just had all the players named blank.
Okay. So he had a stand firm blogger dying in the first game, where he was in 1860, but he still had 2 rerolls. So he's literally the same team value, more or less, that he was starting the playoff.
Yeah, well then I think he should have found the grabber. Another reroll.
Yeah,
I mean, perhaps he lost a leader player. That's another possibility.
Yeah, that could have been. He could have had a leader hobgoblin, maybe.
Linked the first round game.
No, I mean, he could have had a leader hobgoblin late in
his run,
season,
maybe.
But then you can.
Yeah, I don't think so. I've seen too many of the, especially the Spanish Gestionador team, just play with 2 rerolls.
Well, again, I'm sure I haven't been following the chat closely. Have we had a missive from Dionysian about, and this is apparently a common theme, I don't know the scene here well enough to be authoritative on it, that people that are very good at climbing the ladder are sometimes not as prepared for tournament style games.
I don't know.
Maybe that's the case.
Is that something Dio has proclaimed on?
He's voiced that opinion at least once.
All right, okay.
I mean, it is a different format suddenly with overtime and the need for that, slightly longer thinking.
I don't think there's much that Carlos could have. I don't think we can criticise.
No, not
too much.
The plan didn't work.
Yeah, I think it is interesting that no fouls were made in the. Do you think you foul more on defense?
Why the bribe? I mean, I don't see that as synergy with the pre-game plan. I mean, plans obviously change, but you come up with a strategy, don't you?
The extra Apo would definitely have helped him fight the attrition.
And if the strategy is the bribe, you look for opportunities to use it. And I didn't necessarily see those being looked for. So that's a little confusing, something to have a think about. But yeah, it's
maybe he could have bribed more on defence if he'd have lost the toss, or I mean, he won the toss, didn't he? And he chose to go on offense. So
yeah.
And even if you go on defence first and your plan is to try and foul, then you have to kind of protect the dirty player a little bit, so it actually gets a few fouls off. So
absolutely. I mean, you've got to get fouled.
Yeah. Hello, Tom.
And I understood the plan to fight the way through the. Said I felt there was a side, and hence just trying to open yourself up to less hits at times. And there were times where I'd have tried to move the beast off and then dodge some pieces out when, looking for attrition on a 1-on-1 war rather than a 5-on-5 when it started to go a bit bleak. That doesn't mean any of that would, of course, worked, because the dice have been horrific. The casualties have come thick and fast. And that's really, really difficult when you play a team that needs to keep those key pieces on the field.
Fouling with the beast. Beast foul.
I'm not sure I've seen that, actually.
It wasn't. I don't have the animations turned on, so I didn't.
No, ups don't have, but it still turns like around and slap you with the tail. It's not the full animation.
It's weird that they've got through this many years of Blood Bowl 2 and then like not animated a lot of the stars and stuff. I'm just thinking about all the cool. I'm just wondering like what we're going to see in Blood Bowl 3. Like in terms of the cool animations. I do quite like the player animations and stuff.
I did.
But,
I did have a rant about Willow Roseback earlier this morning on the PC's server, because that is awful.
Huh.
Especially when you stand Willow Roseback just next to a war dancer.
Yeah, she's
not a she, it's a he.
Yeah.
It's a war dancer
with
a different head.
Well, because she's terrible, so...
No,
in some ways
Willow
that's
Roseback is fine. Don't hate on Willow Roseback. It's absolutely perfect piece for what it does. Maybe one of the few that's actually using her, but she's absolutely perfect for what she does.
I don't even know what she does. She's like a strength 4 thing, isn't she?
A strength 4 sidestep, thick skull.
Thick skull and decent armor.
I'll tell you the one I like. I like who's the Dark Elf Armor 9 Fend guy? Guard Fend.
Guard Fend wrestled
Elijah Doom, or
that's the Ilya Boom thing. He's amazingly good value.
He's pretty cool.
He is.
He's so good.
But the Dark Elves have a bewildering array of stars that we keep promising to do a feature on the podcast. But
Dark Elf stars. It's become a meme.
It has. Yes.
But who's the guy that runs like the sort of like 2300 Chore Sword time in Black Box? I think it's Big Papa Ben, isn't it? Yeah. So I was up against Big Papa Ben's like level 5 Minotaur, Claw Palm Minotaur, and I just stuck Elijah Doom on him all game. And he was great.
Oh.
We have a blitz.
Decay.
Wow, death!
Death on the pitch. The only
How
death.
exciting!
Actually, it's almost by now. It's a little bit unlucky. He's hadn't decayed somebody, killed somebody to get a free brother.
Yeah.
He's made enough casualty.
Well, we've got another half to look forward to. Where that
and a
may...
KO.
So
He could be
this is
down
it. The
to
dice
10.
are turning.
He could be down to 10. He could be down to 10.
He's going to do the noble strength 4 hobgoblin potato. And
He's
score
going
him 2.
And foul him again.
He's got the bribe. Why not?
Yeah, I know. It's just hilarious.
That's always what it was for. A late game hobgoblin.
A late game guard blocker foul. Oh, that sounded like a KO was coming back to me. Both of them.
I think basically it's kind of a little bit of an illustration on like why inducements are just pretty shit, aren't they, in this format?
Yeah.
Like you just want to be the overdog team every time. Like
Yes.
I can't think of any matchup when you'd rather be the underdog and have any sort of inducement. Like even
Potentially
like
elves,
Skaven with the wizard. Yeah.
if you
But, I mean,
just
I was going to say an
100k
elven whiz is a thing of beauty.
but then you're still.
It's still one
Don't
in
wish
6,
away your whiz before it's gone.
Yeah. Yeah. Has anyone got any experience with the new frog?
Frog's
wizard and stuff?
hilarious, and they've won me at least one. That is just fun. It's fun. So fun.
I had a super
But
skill.
less good than the current one, right?
And it depends on what you're playing against. Like I had a super. I played a league match the same evening the rules come out, and we decided to play with them. And I had like a super 84 block super skank. He was that ended up being a frog quite early in that game, which was really nerve-wracking.
Wait, did he get frogged when he wasn't carrying the ball, or when he was carrying the ball?
Actually, before we even carried the ball, he just wanted to get rid of it.
There was a sidestep, blodge, guard, diving, tackle, dark elf, blitzer
Yeah,
in the game against me. That was guarding a sideline where I wanted to be. So I turned him into a frog, hit him the same turn, gone.
Yeah.
Oh,
Frog paste.
right. Okay, mushed him.
And that's a 3+ to turn it into that.
Yeah, and it's especially strength 2, like skinks and gutter runners and catches and stuff. It's
Then it's a
just
2+.
as good, if not better, because you're more likely to actually get rid of the player almost.
If you hit a high elf frog, he turns into Prince Moranian, right?
Don't diss the prince. The prince is still living. You gotta
The Moron is on a fantastic run in the TSD division.
He's into the second round, into the quarterfinals with that Prince Moran, though.
Somebody actually took Moranian.
Yep.
Yeah, being coached by Justicium, who is one.
I don't mind Moranian.
He's good, but he's fucking
usually I take
expensive.
Yeah, he's really good, but very expensive.
I usually take Eldril as pro team. I take Eldril or Hubris before I take Moranian. So the only time I take Moranian is if none of my blitzers have got tackle yet, and I'm in an elf matchup.
Yeah.
But,
Yes, his Rackle is a fantastic anti-elf skill.
Mm.
And Dauntless Strength 4 can do wonders in a bash match too. But...
Can that Rudder skill up? Can we get a dirty player with Rudder? Yes, we can. And he might even pass with it.
Yeah, I think I would pass with it to skill him up and then score on the
score on
warrior.
Yeah,
you have some turns to try to get a casualty instead with the attack with the mighty bone.
What do you use with Roxy? I mean, like elves have got some decent star players to choose from, haven't they? So
yeah, that's like
they really do.
Jodel is also pretty good. 85.
Jordel's not a surf threat though, isn't he? Like Roxy is. So
no, but he's 85. He's also 85 blood sidestep. He's a he's a better ball carrier.
Yeah. I don't know. I've not taken Jordel that often actually.
It's rarely like Wood Elf because you take the first 150 to get a wizard. It's rare to have a 260. Yeah. So that's 260. That's 3. You need like 410 to get with him and a whiz.
Yeah, and like I said, usually I would go for the strength 4 pieces before I go for Jordell. Because usually I have strength 3 bludge pieces that do
It's about
the
bringing
same sort
something
of
fresh
stuff.
to the team.
Yeah.
But if
But
you don't
particularly
have
in 2020, strength is going to be so difficult to get that those sort of strength up pieces are going to be even greater value. Plus, there's the fact that stars all buffed and mostly got cheaper.
Oh, does he re-roll it here?
Yeah,
He does re-roll it. And
Yeah.
he's leveled his rotter. Nice.
And dirty
Okay,
player,
go.
hopefully
So-
dirty player.
Well, you can have a second kick, so that you've definitely.
second kick. Hey, with Bark. Yeah, it is kind of.
I think he's
We're
won. I was about to say he's won all the game we've been casting. I think it's that.
The only thing is, like, how much can the Nurg skill up to face Dio? Dio reckons it is irrelevant. It doesn't matter how much he skills up. So, but yeah, I think he wants to try and level a Nurg warrior here.
Yeah, you should be because that could make a difference.
2 passes to the beast, and the beast could level.
He can also just 3 dice with the beast.
Yeah,
It
I
does
think
have
that's what he's
mighty
going to
blow.
try and do. See if the beast can get a count.
Yeah, it does have mighty blow.
Well, it did a thing earlier, didn't it?
Yeah. And 3 dice with the Nurg warrior.
I mean, the Nurgle have played great, but they've also had nice type. So
Yeah, it helped. They had like those 3 casualties coming like pretty rapidly early.
Yeah, I think 3 cash in 3 or 4 turns, wasn't it? And then, even though the miss next game, Dwarf came back, or the niggled Dwarf came back.
yes, by the time the CD scored their touchdown, it already
So
looked over.
now he doesn't even need to. Oh,
Well, that's
the
the level.
bludger can scale up as well, so you probably just want to score with that now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, nice. That's great.
Well,
Okay,
and that
so-
also perhaps gives some freedom in what you do on the Nurg, because I think the blodger would be a natural tackle piece too, because of its mobility.
He's trying to get some passes off. Okay.
He's-
So, is there anything else he can score on?
Yeah, the beast.
Oh, he might.
Okay. He cannot score on the beast. He cannot hand off. Like, what does he need? How many times do you try and hand off to the beast? Like,
However many times it takes.
Is there anybody else? Is there anybody else? Is there anybody in range?
I'd love it if he scores on the beast here.
That's skilled. That's skilled.
You can't, surely. But
I
it
think
would be
You have
hilarious.
to. You have to. Oh!
Wait,
Oh!
If you score on the beast, right, then if you put the ball on the beast, then in the final turn. Oh no, wait, hang on. So yeah, I was just thinking, what if he goes stupid in the final turn?
But you can
of course
just.
he scored a bit earlier, so yeah.
Yeah.
You can't
I
score on the
really
beast,
hope we do, but you can't.
But there's
I think
nobody
it's
else.
worth- I think it's worth a couple of goes. Yeah, I think it's worth a couple of goes.
And there's nobody else. Like, because otherwise, why do the passing? Like in my, I'd probably just score on the bludger because
I'm
he
being
was.
negative now, so that if he does,
So what he needs one more.
Oh,
He needs another part on his bludger first, doesn't he? So he just passes to a pet. And
Yeah,
then
but
2
you
turns
run
to
take the beast.
yeah, you run.
Don't be lazy. Get it all done.
You run. There's nothing left. It's another 5. That short team is going to be. Oh, legal concede. Ooh.
Oh.
Oh, what's he doing? Is he going to pass to the strength 4 and then hand off to the beast? Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think.
Because the catch is the important thing, isn't it? So.
Oh, maybe he is going straight to the beast. Oh no.
No. He needs to level on the bludger first.
He's not conceding.
Okay, so bludger's leveled.
He's also rolling really good.
Okay, so how many beast handoffs do you do here then?
You can do at least two. You can definitely do two.
Not 3.
2, yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, you don't re-roll it off. One handoff, one attempted pickup,
Yeah, you
and
can.
then you've probably got to go for it.
Yeah.
Oh, if
Keep
you go
it.
for 3, I'm liking it.
Yeah, one handoff, and then you decide. You can definitely try one pickup. I'm not sure I'm gonna do 2. I don't want to get into kicks. That would be hilarious if you end up. You can end up losing on kicks. Like.
No, this is. Come on.
Go for it.
Oh, that's it!
Yeah!
Yeah, de los cojones. It's got the ball. The beast of the ball, is it? Or the beast of the balls?
And here it goes. Brilliant.
Here we go.
Why was there ever any doubt?
It did need, unfortunately, it did need a 2. It was on 4, so it couldn't pass ADEV.
Well played, Gestionador.
That was a
Absolutely.
efficient overtime. 25 armor breaks.
Wow.
Oh yeah, that's pretty decent, isn't it?
Yeah, the
9.
I don't know. I think we need a graph to prove that was slightly in favour of one side.
Where is Yak anyway?
Without a graph, didn't happen.
Yeah. Congratulations to Gestionador.
Yeah,
Congratulations
congratulations,
to
Gestionador.
It's one of those matches when you can watch 2 bash teams beat the shit out of each other, or 1 bash team beat the shit out of another bash team. I wasn't rooting for anybody in particular there. I just enjoyed watching the match.
That was great. I mean, it was fun. It was. Chaos Dwarf picked up a plan. It fell apart, and then they fell apart.
To be fair, like Gestionador did get like what 3 or 4 skill out of that overtime. That's going to be
He
helpful.
did. He used what he had in front.
Bit of OT farming.
A bigger challenge awaits. If he gets the same dice and sets the same level of removals, Dionysian will only have a dozen elves left by the end of the second half.
Let's ask Theo. The beast level's potentially annoying. Would you have preferred, just at the start of the match, would you have preferred to face the Dwarfs or the Nurgle? Like, who's your favourite matchup there? Like, your preferred matchup? Not taking the players into account or anything. You'd prefer to go against Nurgle.
Yeah.
I think
But
I would do the same if I was playing elves, I think.
I thought you'd have preferred to take on the Chaos Dwarves. They just look a bit thinner.
But seeing the 2 player.
For a team with only 2 tackles, whereas the 2 tackles versus 6 tackles, I think.
Yeah, true.
But it's more than 2 tackle now. I think.
It's more than 2 tackle now, but yeah, like you don't really care a lot about the Nurgle's strength. You don't really care a lot about that. And Nurgle are equally as slow as Chorf. In fact, slower than Chorf. So.
Yes, I'd come to the next match bristling with tackle if I was Nurgle.
Yeah, and to be fair, also I will say player-wise.
And a DP, definitely, Jimmy.
And also seeing the games, I will definitely also have preferred meeting the Dwarves just from the play on the pitch.
Yeah. Well, Dio, any? Do you think you're going to get the game in this weekend? Maybe.
Have you played now, Dim?
Play now. Yep. Maybe you still got some time this evening.
I don't.
Well, exactly. But yeah, I guess hopefully this weekend, like we want to get maximum viewers watching the match. It'll be quite exciting. So maybe this weekend will be good. There.
It'll be fantastic. I mean, I think it's going to be I think it's nice for the Nurgle of this game. It means it's slightly unpredictable what they are going to build. It means they can build something to what I think we all know is an incredibly strong high elf team. So let's hope that's going to give us a good match.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a good match.
There are 15 high elves.
A couple of levels as well.
Yeah. On the sidestepper and the guarded blitzer.
So blitzer gets
yes, but that's the Huel, Dimmy. How do you think impact on things?
Jugs the mudlarker is still there. This comes from when Chug discovered something with his mudlarking friend.
I'm not sure it'll look any different going out to how it looks.
If you ship the bed with fuel, what happens? Question mark. 270 high elves. I think you might fire somebody. I don't know.
Can
maybe.
you have? How do you have 15 players? Like.
Well, we watched one of the games. None of them died.
Oh, that's the case.
Do you
Yeah.
remember?
Yeah. I still got a PSD or my own elves dying left and right.
When you get up to 2,000 with elves, like even if none of your players are dying, it's really difficult to save up any money because of the what do you call it?
Spiraling
The
expenses.
spiraling expenses, exactly. Yeah, so it's done well to get up to 270. I don't think I've ever seen that 270 in jump ladder. So, yeah.
Although
Well,
elves are, they do go high.
Yeah,
They get fairly bloaty high quite quickly. So that's
yeah. If you get all the catches, it's just flies.
they are a
out.
team that explodes in TV. Right, I need to disappear. So
Yeah.
gentlemen, it was very fun having a chat with you this evening.
hopefully we get to watch a good final very soon.
Yeah, I hope so. So that'll be really cool. So,
Night, guys.
cheers, PC.
Cheers for stopping by, PC.
4 level ups.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. That's pretty useful.
How many elves are even allowed, says Tom? Yeah, I guess the Nurg, he's got 60k. Is that after his winnings? His winnings have been done, right? So I guess you go with. He could buy a rotter, or he could use 40k of his bank to help buy better inducements, but he's probably just going to get a.
Take a rotter, just to make sure you don't want to risk.
Be down, man. Yeah.
That's the only thing you don't want against elf. That's a bloody shield.
So it goes rotter, goes to 1890. Dio can adjust it a little bit if he wants to fire a player, if he wants some sort of. I mean, he probably just goes bribe and what's good star player wise for Nurgle? Ugh. He probably gets it. Probably the wizard's better than any star player, I think so.
Yeah, then you can at least ball the monster.
Yeah, bolt the Nigwood guy maybe, or
Yeah.
I don't know. Like you can put elves in trouble sometimes if elves are at all stretching it and trying to stall out an 8-turn offense, for example, and they have to stretch it a little bit, and they've got a few pieces hung up on the beast or something, then you can get them in a little bit of trouble with the wizard. It's not always easy to stall for 8 turns and advance in safety against a wizard, a bolt, or a fireball or something. So I think a wizard's still fine, even though it's a Nurgle team. Like it's not easy to play against a wizard at any point, whatever the team you're facing is. So I think I'll just go wizard and bribe, and you could induce another dirty rotter, maybe 2 dirty rotters.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I think rather than just buying another rotter here, I think maybe I'd induce it. How much is an induced dirty rotter? It's like it's 100. What's it? 40 plus 30, so it's 70. It's 120, right?
Yeah.
So wizard, bribe, dirty rotter.
Sorry, the trophy's piling in pretty hard.
It's definitely not an early GG. I think,
But yeah, I got a long day tomorrow, and I got gym at 7, so I need to turn in as well. But hopefully we get the final soon. And thank you for stopping by. It's been a pleasure. And
very fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look forward to seeing everybody.
What?
Look forward to seeing everybody. That'd be a nice. Good luck, Dio. Dio's in the chat.
Yep. And like a sides thing, I'll do the Fumble Cup final on Sunday evening at 8.
Oh, Fumble Cup, eh? Who's the matches there? Who's the teams?
Stan Richardson, Winklepicker, playing Jokero.
I find it really difficult to follow the Fumble Majors. Actually, like I don't know if there's a good website for finding out who's playing who or what.
I have no Strider, Alex asked me if I wanted to cast it. He switched like Jakero. And since PC was up for doing it, I've said yes to do it.
Oh, good. I'll tune in for that one then and watch. So
Watch some small things poking around on the screen.
yeah,
So
watch some sprites.
That should be good.
All right. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers,
Have
everyone.
a good evening then.
And enjoy some, I don't know, Rick. I think he's the only one I know that's playing right now. So let's send us over to Santa Claus, it looked like. Oh my god.